Welcome to another Bijou. Take a moment, get your supplies, set your intention, soften, relax your body, make sure you're comfortable, and let's dive in. I am not going to do a border today. I am going to let this tangle go all the way off the page. I actually am going to put another tile underneath because I will likely tangle off the page. This is just it's not an official Zentangle tile, it's just a paper square. So here we have our Bijou, and the tangle Scena starts with almost like a fescue shape, right? That little kind of raindrop shape. And then I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit like maybe a backwards S. I'm just going to give it some curve to give us a place to start. And then I'm going to start at that, at this part. And I'm just going to I'm just going to keep starting at that same place and come off and follow this curve of this line. You don't have to curve it the way I did. That part's not super important. You're just kind of always starting at the same place and following your way around. And what happens as we do this is it creates not only a flow of the lines, but it also creates natural shading. So I didn't want to get a pencil out today because I am just going to let this tangle itself become shaded just through the tangling. Now you might find yourself called to curve the line a little bit differently. That's totally fine. It gives the tile interest, and as we come around the tile, it will just naturally the flow will naturally shift because we are going to go all the way around the tile, all the way around that initial line that we drew. So we're just starting in a spot and working our way around. Just continually connecting off that line that we put down first. Leave some space there just for visual fun. I'm gonna sneak one in here, and then it's going to, just the way that landed, we're gonna come off this way. It's coming back around here, going back the other way, just continuing on this line. So you can play with this one. How curvy you make that at first line changes how it looks. Where on your line you decide to move from changes how it looks. The other thing you can do is at the bottom, this is sort of an embellishment or a decision if you choose to do it, where you have more space, you can actually fan out the bottom and weigh it, like weight the line at the end, which can be visually interesting. And change how it looks as well. It's kind of why intentionally I left space, just to show you a variation of how this can look. You don't have to do it on every line. You don't have to purposefully leave space, but if it calls to you, it can be another fun way to just add some drama to the tile. And you can see I put a paper behind because I knew I was gonna make a mess, so to speak. Maybe I'll do another one here. There. And you can kind of just keep holding the tile out and deciding, do I want there to be this added weight at the bottom of these lines that we drew, or do I want it to be less what they call drama and just more fine lines? Totally up to you. This one I have a double line just because of the way I did it, so one way to quote unquote fix that, not that it's a mistake, but is to just color it in. And so this is a tangle that's very forgiving. You can be really creative with it, and based on how you draw your line, your initial line, that swirl just can look really different. And so I'm just kind of like sitting back and looking and seeing, oh, where is there some empty space that I want to add a little bit of weight to at the bottom of the line to create visual interest. And again, this is all personal preference. You can kind of just play as it feels aligned for you. So that is Scena. And I kind of have this nice little gap here where I can put my chop. So I'm going to call that good for my drama. I could maybe put a few more in here, but those are kind of close together, and I kind of like that it's just on these sides. And I'm going to put my chop in here, which I really don't need to draw the bottom of my M, and then dangle my heart and call that good. So this is, let's see, Bijou, my initials and the date, and then we have the tangle Scena. And anything else you want to add to your tile. And then we turn it back over and we have gratitude and appreciation again. If you wanted to shade, you could shade against this line and kind of you can see where the natural shading is. You could put highlights on the top of this curve. You could play with it, but this one shades kind of on its own naturally. So see how you feel. Enjoy.